Mountains are still being moved, and strongholds are still being loosed. God, we believe, yes, we can see that wonders are still what you do, and bodies are still being raised, giants are still being slain. 'Cause God, we believe, yes, we can see wonders are still what you do.
Again, I'm not an expert on Bitcoin by any stretch. It's just with a market cap of 500 billion, it's the wrong market cap in a world where you've got $90 trillion worth of equity market cap, and God knows how many trillions of fiat currency, et cetera. So it's the wrong market cap, for instance, relative to gold, which is 8 or 9 trillion. The Bitcoin reminds me so much of the internet stocks of 1999, because the internet was in its infancy. No one knew how to value it because of the world of possibility that lay ahead. What you can be certain of is that probably 20 years from now, our kids and grandkids, whatever, all of us will be using some type of digital currency. Digital currency will be used by every sovereign. They may have their own digital currency, whatever. They'll be very, very, very commonplace at that point in time. Cash may be gone.
So all of these things come together to say, it sounds crazy, but they all kind of add up. So I've come at this in a number of different ways. One is there's somebody you can find on Twitter called Plan B. He's an anonymous who actually works for a family office in Holland, and he's a quant. And he analyzed the stock to flow model, which means they look at the amount of supply over time of an asset and how it affects price. It's scarcity, essentially. It's the same way that gold works, diamond works, things like that work, rare assets. And it becomes relatively predictable. That predictability would suggest that we might get somewhere like $1 million by 2025, 2026. Then we can use the logarithmic scale and look at the price of Bitcoin on a logarithmic scale. It kind of gives you the same price projections. Then the other way of looking at it is looking at the total amount of above ground supply of gold and its price, and then do the same for Bitcoin, and you get something similar. Basic charting techniques give you something similar. So there's a number of things that suggest that. But at a more sensible level, $1 million is it going up 100-fold from, well, it's now gone up to 20,000. So it's going up 50-fold from here. Mm-hmm. So the Bitcoin's currently worth about $300 billion in market cap. So that's saying, okay, Bitcoin's worth $1.5 trillion. That's about gold's market cap. That's about $15 trillion. Gold's $11 trillion. So it's saying Bitcoin will be the same price as gold. Now, where's gold going to be in 5 years' time? Probably double or triple from here. So Bitcoin's going to be somewhere like 25 to 50% of the market cap of gold at the same time. That's not unreasonable. I mean, basically, supply is restricted, algorithmically restricted. So it can never be changed. So you always know what the supply is. So then the question is okay, what is the demand? Well, what's interesting about this is the more it goes up in price, the more the market cap goes up, the more financial institutions need to have it. It's also, its price performance also draws more into it. So we've got a very, very skewed risk reward, which is why it tends to go extremely fast, extremely far. It's the best performing asset class of all time over 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, or something crazy. We've never seen an asset like this before. We haven't yet got the institutions into this. They're all coming into it. I know they are because I'm speaking to them all. I just got off the phone with the largest investment advisor firm in the United States. Their founder is teaching as many investment advisors as he possibly can why Bitcoin, they can't invest yet because there's no ETF. But the moment it comes, these guys have 5 trillion of assets amongst the investment advisor community in the US alone. If they were to put 1%, 10 basis points in, that's 5 billion immediately. But the chances are it's going to be much more because it's a very fast moving asset. So we've got, I've never seen anything like the skewed risk reward currently in Bitcoin. It's crazy. And meanwhile, the supply can't adjust. And everybody's taking their coins off exchange and putting them in storage because they also expect the price to rise further. So there's literally no supply. Out of the Square Cash app and PayPal, they're pretty much taking all of the mine supply of Bitcoin off the market every day. And then we've got the Grayscale Trust and then everybody else. The only answer is the price to go up. Speaking to the financial advisor today, he's like, the problem is all the clients are asking for it. And that is the problem. And I'm sorry, but every day when you get an announcement that Fidelity's in the space and this asset manager and that asset manager, and they get the incremental better alpha, it forces everybody else to do it. So, as George Soros would refer to them, this is a reflexive loop. It's highly reflective, probably the most reflexive I've ever seen, because almost everybody has a fear of missing out, or in financial market terms, is short call options on the way up, and everybody's forced to buy on the way up. I've never seen anything like it, literally. That is what Bitcoin is all about. It's the life raft. It's the way that you and I can say, you know what, we're not comfortable with this anymore. I don't want to hold euros or dollars or pounds. I'm just going to hold Bitcoin, and we can just step out. Because I don't know how it all ends, whether we have to have a giant debt jubilee, start all over again, create something different. Something will happen in the end, and I don't think that end is too far away. So it's nice to have something like Bitcoin. I was postulating over the weekend about the idea that what happens if they created this central bank digital currency, but the basket version, and what happens to be a member of that basket? You're restricted to 2%. You're allowed the 50% increase in money printing to get out of the crisis. And then the only way you're going to do it is to agree to a 2% increase in money supply only. So then you've got a central bank digital currency that looks like Bitcoin. Okay, that's interesting. Now, can you then, you will have inflated your way out of the debt because you've devalued by 50% essentially. Those kind of things, they're possible. And then maybe you wrap all these debts up and issue a perpetual bond at 0% interest rates. So there is ways out. And it's not going to be a hyperinflation, everybody having to eat grass in a field because there's no food to live on. It's not going to work that way.
Well, welcome back. It's Chris with Bitcoin Advisors. It's a glorious morning, a comical morning. Someone is being a cheerful, hilarious giver. That's Bitcoin once again making new all-time highs, not even just a couple $1,000. But it looks like about $3,000 since we last spoke. No, $4,000. Oh no, 5,000. No, holy Toledo, this thing's up $7,000 since the last time we spoke. It's going right off the charts here now. And with all these giant green candles, I don't quite know what we're gonna do. I don't know what we're going to do, but it is a lovely morning, isn't it? Happy Sunday, everyone out there. Happy 2021, where truly you can say everything is better, right? And welcome back. And don't forget to watch the end of this video for something very special. But now let's put the focus back on the Bitcoin dominant, showing what we're ticking up here. We ticked all the way up to about 73 this past week. I am expecting this to continue to surge. Open interest is heading up another 300 million from yesterday to today to 5.3 billion in open interest. which is quite significant. That's over $500 billion in open interest. Now let's take a look at the fear and greed index, which I just plugged in here. Fear and greed index ticking down from a 94 to a 93. I don't know, maybe the price should have gone up higher. Funding rates on most exchanges are pretty high, over 0.01%. We need to see this trend sustain for another day or two, and that could be indicative of a top. But I will put the focus back on the price action chart here on the weekly. And I do want to point out something. Now, I will not be calling it a top anytime soon until I see a reversal on the weekly. What that means, let me be clear, a lower low and a lower high on a weekly example. Okay, see, I wouldn't have caught this exactly at 20,000 at the top here. Okay, see, this was the top 20,000. What did we need to get? A lower low, you can see right there, right? See see, we got higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. Here's your lower low. We got a low, lower low. Okay, and then we got a lower high. That is the reversal signature we're looking at. Let me see if I can show that a little better. So we got the lower low and we got a lower high. That is on a weekly schedule. That was the indication. So no, you didn't get it at 19,289. Might have caught it here at 16,168. Not going to catch the ultimate high or the ultimate low, but I will catch the momentum. Now, let's get on here to the 2-day and throw on our favorite oscillator, the Bollinger Bands. We love these guys. The 2-day just had a successful close above, and I actually want to make this nice and white. I like to make these white. I don't know how they got changed on me, but that's a quick fix here. And then you can see them more clearly. So we did have a closure above on the 2-day. Let's take a look at the 3-day. The 3-day is going to be closing tonight. If we do close above, looks like about 29,900-ish right here. Call it 30,000. If we close above 30,000 on the 3-day today in about 5 hours and 42 minutes. On the weekly, all we gotta do is close above, let's see, why is it making it so hard? Right there, 27,700. Looks like we're most likely gonna have that closure above the topside Bollinger Band on the 3-day and the weekly today for new all-time highs next week. That's our big indicator that we're gonna get some more price action, more closing up. So when price action is closing up on dual higher term timeframes, open interest is going up, the trend is continuation to the upside. So again, this rally is real, and I really do like this signature for long-term continuation and growth. This rally has been incredibly powerful, it's been incredibly amazing, it's been incredibly violent, and it's been incredibly ridiculous, but it does probably have a little more upside. I mean, when we go from 3x, right, or we go from 10x right here, right, to 30x, or to 33,000, that's a 3x. Get my words right here, it's early in the morning. Time to send your retirement to the moon. Time to put some Bitcoin in your IRA. If you don't already own some, there's no more excuses. You better own some Bitcoin. And I pointed this out previously on my video on October 27th when Bitcoin broke above 10,500. Where was it? Right here. This was our last weekly high, right? And we're about to go over something really important. So you can take a look here. This was 10,500 right here. Okay, when we closed on new all-time highs right here, boom, that was our indicator. We called that Bitcoin was heading up towards, 19,000, 20,000 right here. Okay, that was that. Then on December 20th, I put out a video. Bitcoin broke above 20,000 right here. Call it December 20th. Was it December 20th? That was when the video was put out on the daily. If you can see it more clearly, on the 20th would be right around here. So we had a tick above 20,000. There we go. It was the 20th, but it was like 2 in the morning. So this was the reversal candle. Broke above 20,000, and that gave us our next target up to 35,000. How did we get that measure move? It was real simple. I'll just take these off really quick, and I'll pull this out on a weekly, and I want to show you how we did this. So this was a massive ascending triangle, and we took the measure move from about the middle, right? And we said, okay, if this thing breaks above here, was a head and shoulders formation. You got the head, the double shoulder, and boom. That's the measure move up to 35,000, which we pretty much just hit that to the target, okay? So this was the real accumulation phase. You see, this was like accumulation, Bitcoin down, sideways, right? Then we broke the weekly high of 19,357. We broke above there right here, boom. Now we're gonna take a look, and again, weekly reversal, I'm not gonna call it high. As long as Bitcoin is above 30,000, I will say we are in a parabolic melt-up phase, okay? We are in price discovery, so I don't trust our normal oscillators, these guys down here. I don't really trust them as much, especially this guy. So what I do want to look at though is a couple other things, because we're on a weekend, we have some extra time. First thing I wanted to explore was the Bitcoin Google Trends. Google Trends, you can go there, you can search it up yourself. You can see that this is the past 5 years trend for people searching the term Bitcoin. And you can see it peaked here in, gosh, what was that? December 2017 at 100. Right now we're at a 31. That's nothing. That means we're not even close to trending to the top side of Google Trends search. That means really this is the FOMO indicator basically page. The FOMO indicator gauge, right? When all the retailers are searching up Bitcoin again because it's at 50, 60,000 and they're trying to figure out how they can own some. And we're back up here. Okay, indicator of a top. I think there's a lot more to go. And taking a look at those videos you just watched, gold market cap is 10 trillion, mostly used for nothing, right? But a great store of wealth, physical wealth outside of the banks, but very little, use outside of that. Gold has a $10 trillion market cap. Okay, if you take a look at, let's just go to coin market cap. If you look at Bitcoin's at 600 billion right now. Compare that to gold at 10 trillion. That's crazy. Just little of that money comes over to Bitcoin. But really, if Bitcoin just starts to fulfill what most people think it will do, and that's dematerialize gold, right? These crazy price targets are not so crazy at all. They're actually pretty darn in line with past and prior moves. And like I said, we are closing. Oh, the other thing we just had was a monthly close. We had a monthly close above the topside Trilinger band, which I don't really like this because you can't see it very well. But how can we do this? Make it more visible. I don't know how we can do it. Well, that is the topside Trilinger band, and that was the closure. That was New Year's Eve, and we closed above it. We definitely did. Oh, look at that. Maybe that did it. Nope. That did not help us. Oh, there. There it is. So we closed well above. Closed the month at 28,900. Wow. And look, almost to the T, we hit this move here. You know, I had been saying, looking at some selling pressure coming in there. We might come back and test the top side of this Trilinger band. That'd probably be an excellent buy. But here's something fun that I really wanted to go over with you guys today. Because anytime, right? Because right now we're closing on weekly, monthly, bi-monthly, yearly, quarterly, right? All higher term time frames, we're closing on new all-time highs right now. Anytime that we've done it on a weekly. And for this one, I'm going to go over to our BLX index, which BLX index gets the price history of Bitcoin going back, you know, all eternity, right? From where we're at today, all the way back down here to 2010 with the initial ICO. You know, Bitcoin comes in, rallies up to about 9 cents, right? And like I said, every time we've closed on all-time weekly highs, right? New all-time highs on the weekly. I'm going to show you what Bitcoin's price has done in past prior action, right? And then I'm going to let you put a guess on where the price goes next. But let's get our drawing tool out here. So that, see that high right there? Now we're going to the next high, and we're going to measure to the next high. That was a 436% gain, okay? Next high, right, on a closing basis. Let's take this one right here, boom. I'll grab my ruler again. A 200% gain. Okay, that's the smallest one. I remember that one by heart. Then we're gonna go to this high here, boom. 2,800% gain. Okay. And I am going to the wicks there, so that is, to be fair. Next new all-time high on a closing basis, 1,200%. Okay, let's go back here. Closing on the weekly above, that's 629%. Okay, and then look, so again, we're measuring the weekly here. See, when it closes above on new weekly highs, this was a similar consolidation period like we just saw. I mean, that was not so short. That was from November 13 to March of 17. Well, March of 17. So let's just go ahead and take this thing right here and measure. This is exciting. Boom. That was from $900 to 20,000. Not bad. 918,000. In how many months? From December 16 to January 18, so in 2 years. That was a 10x right there. 10x. Like, what's his name, the little books he always likes to write? Or Grant Cardone, 10x. I flew in my jet yesterday and I'm going to the moon. Looks like a lot of fun to me, honestly. All right, next move, broken weekly highs. So far, you looked at all those moves, you know, the smallest move being 200%, right? So right now, we just broke above, we're at 67%. 67%. The smallest move we saw was 200% from the beginning of time of Bitcoin. Okay, now let's just have a little more fun and measure this. What would, because my chart doesn't even go that high, right? Let's take the ruler out and measure from, let's see if we go 200%, where that puts us. I don't even know if I should be doing this. But 200% puts us right here at 57,500. Not bad, not bad. That's why that's I think a conservative move, okay? Let's go 400%. Our second highest, our second lowest. 400% puts Bitcoin at 76,000. Okay, if we do 1,000% gainer, that puts us at 200,000. Right here, 210,000. We get a 2,000%. Oh wow, still, I'm gonna have to move my chart. Let's see if I can even get room to do that. All right. So it would have to go from right here, 2,000%. 2,000%. So again, anytime we've closed on new all-time highs on the weekly, you can guess what happens next, right? This would be 2,000%. Bitcoin's at 400,000. Oh man, there's another way to measure this too, and it sends Bitcoin up towards 1 million, but I don't want to go there. 1,000% gainer, that's a 10x from here, puts Bitcoin at 200,000. So if you're thinking about 10x on your money, I don't know a whole lot of other opportunities out there where you can get this kind of price action in your retirement account, or even if you have cash on hand. Could be extremely valuable. Yeah, so other than that, guys, I want to wish you guys happy, blessed, wonderful 2021. Keep following along here. I'm going to put a link in the description on how to set up a trading view pretty soon. And make sure you check out this last video. Just really touched my heart. Hope you have a blessed day. Take care.
We just wanted to share a testimony from today. We went to Whataburger, and we saw a guy sitting outside, just kind of looked a little bummed out. And so as we go, we just share Jesus everywhere. It was hard to understand because he had maybe a bit of a speech impediment. And so he just said, well, what do you like? And I said, cheeseburgers, and just small talk. And then I just asked if I could pray for him. He said that he had a hole in his eardrum. And so we said, well, we love Jesus. We came here because God loves you, and we're just going to pray for you, and God's going to heal your eardrum. I put my finger in his ears because that's what Jesus did. I didn't do that part. I thought about it. And so we prayed, and then Zoe, you laid hands on him too, didn't you? So we prayed, and praise God, his eardrum, he said, felt a bit better. It's more supernatural than we even realize because God does all the work. We just do the laying on of hands. And so his ear felt a bit better, and then we prayed again, and he said he couldn't really tell until he goes to the doctor, and I believe that it's going to be 100%. Your hearing too, I believe when you go to the doctors, you'll do perfect.
Yes, I think so too.
Yeah. Like feel good just all over.
Yeah, just all over.
Yeah. It's because the Holy Spirit, he's all over you. And you asked him to come into your heart and live in your heart. So he's already in you. He's just leaping for joy. So then we went inside, and this was really cool.
So yeah, we went inside, we went to the cashier, and there was this just huge tall guy. We asked him if he had a back problem. He said yeah. So we prayed for him, and he was like, wow, and kept like going back and forth.
From 1 to 10, how?
Hold on. Wait a second. Hold on.
Really check it.
Okay, that's weird. Hold on.
And then he called everyone from the back and said, guys, come out here. These girls are gonna pray for you. Get out here.
Yeah.
Bro, check this out, bro. Come here, bro. Bro, do you have any pain, bro? Any pain?
Any pain behind your shoulders? No pain
You
in
have
your...
no pain, bro.
You don't have any problems?
Bro.
Does anyone have any pain in their body? Someone has pain in their upper shoulder.
You have any pain?
Yeah. Jesus loves you, man.
How's the back feeling?
This feels good. I'm gonna see later on today. See.
Yeah. Well, you're
awesome.
really checking it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out all day.
This one guy came in while we were talking to him to order food while he was on the phone, and he just walked right out of the room without even ordering anything. And we said to that guy that walked out of the store, we said, Jesus loves you, and he said, oh yeah, you too.
We're just having a healing service. Do you have anything? Are you good? You're good? Jesus will heal you.
Just remember that even though you say you're a Christian, you might not be.
Even though they say they're a Christian, they might not be. They might just say, get you away.